Okay, so I went ahead and bought the SIG Sauer P365, the original P365, the small micro compact 9mm. I had been looking at this gun for a while, the past few years, and I thought it would be a pistol that I could use and would be something that would be useful for me. I'd been looking for these online on Gunbroker, and you can find these used, you know, $400 to $450. That was still a little bit more than I wanted to pay for this gun, because it wasn't a must-have, but it was something that I thought could be useful just because of some of the features that it has. So there was one that I had on my watch list that was listed around $400, but it did have a take a shot feature, and I said, what the heck? So I threw out $350, and what do you know? I want it. So I thought it was a good deal to get this pistol for 350 bucks. Came with 2 magazines, this flush fitting 10 rounder and the 10 rounder with the pinky extension, which is really helpful. Next thing we'll talk about is the biggest feature set about this gun and why it is so popular is its form factor. It is really, really small. It is the smallest of its kind. And since its inception, every gun manufacturer has been trying to chase what this gun has created, which is a super micro compact 9mm double stack with at least 10 rounds in the magazine. There's been a lot of companies who have made, you know, guns that do compete with this and do have some better feature sets, but as far as compactness, I don't think there is a gun that can rival this. Some are really close, but not quite as small. If I'm wrong about that, please leave it in the comments, but I don't think there is a 9mm that is this small, you know, that holds at least 10 rounds that's available. Just to give you a size comparison, this is a 3-inch barrel. This grip here is sort of it's not a full grip, it's a compact grip. And for me, my hands are medium large, and you can see, you know, my pinky comes off that. They do have the pinky extension 10 round mag, and I am able to get the pinky on there, at least mostly. So as a size comparison, I'm gonna bring in some of my other pistols. This is my everyday carry. This is a compact 9mm, full-size grip, 4-inch barrel. It is quite a bit larger than this. This holds 15 flush fitting. This holds 10, but you can really see just how small this thing is and how it shines as far as concealability. And this here we have a full-size handgun, government size, which is a 5-inch barrel. And I mean, you can see that this thing is just so much smaller than that. It almost feels like it's half the size of this full-size gun. This is a full-size grip, 1911. Okay, so here are some concealment examples. Here's just a regular coat, you know, with the sticky holster. Super easy, pull out, draw, totally unnoticeable. So it'd be good for any jacket, any hoodie, really any pocket. This thing is gonna be, you know, unnoticeable. This is often similar attire to what I wear during the summer when I go to the gym or I'm hiking. Somewhat tight shirt in a, you know, an emergency situation where I don't have a holster, where I'm not going to be carrying my everyday. Just sort of looks like a wallet or a cell phone, and you got a pistol on you. So with these kind of mesh athletic shorts, drawing is not really going to work out with this sticky holster, to be honest. But any type of jeans or any sort of tight-fitting material, you can draw with the sticky holster. It's completely fine. This stays in, gun pulls out, good to go. You can also put this in the waistband if you need to, and that does, you know, that draw is completely fine. Pretty decent option I have as a backup if my everyday carry setup's not available, or if anything happens, it's good to know I have this as a backup. All right, let's talk about fit and finish on this pistol. To me, the fit and finish on this gun, it's just not great. To be completely honest, the lower frame, the grip, it just doesn't really feel good at all. It feels very plasticky, which obviously it is polymer and plastic, but it feels pretty thin. And it just, to me, it just feels like a cap gun, to be completely honest. It doesn't feel great. And again, I know some people are gonna say, oh, well, your carry pistol is, you know, 4 or 5 times the cost of this. It's not polymer. Of course, you're gonna think it doesn't feel good in hand. And yeah, that may be somewhat true, but I don't know, something about this grip, it does feel like a toy to me. From what everybody's saying is that it's durable, it holds up, but it's just the feel. It just doesn't feel great in my hand, to be completely honest. And here we are with the extended mag with the pinky, and you know, this, you know, it's nice that I can get my pinky on and have a full grip, but to be honest, it doesn't feel good. These mags are plastic and very pointy. It just, I don't know, it just doesn't feel good to me. I don't like the feel of it at all. The safety, you know, I like that there's a safety on this. That was big for me. I do come from a 1911 type background with pistols, so the safety I do like. I like having that added feature. It is very small and it's sort of hard to engage, but it is positive, and you know when it's on or it's off. Mag release is okay. Since it's such a small grip, you kind of have to like shift your hand a little bit to get it. It's not raised too much, so it is good for concealing. I don't really have any issues with that at all. As far as fit and finish, the slide is definitely the best part of this gun. It is made out of metal, some kind of aluminum, I'm sure. And that's the only part of the gun, really, to me, things that actually feel good and high quality, in my opinion. There's forward-facing serrations and back. It's you know, relatively easy to rack. And yeah, so I do like the slide in the barrel. Those look nice and feel nice. My honest feelings about the trigger is that it's dog shit. I don't think it's a good trigger at all. It's really mushy and spongy. I guess it would be considered okay that it's heavier for a self-defense weapon, so I kind of understand that, but the trigger's not great. Not a big fan of the trigger at all. These magazines, I really do not like these magazines. I mean, they're reliable. I've had no issues with them so far, but this little pinky extension bumper, this thing is so plastic feeling. I do not like the feel of it at all, and the back of it is really pointy, so that digs into your hand. Really not good. I wish that was some kind of rubber. I'm sure there's aftermarket parts for that, which I haven't really looked into, but just these ones that are included, I do not like. Loading these magazines is such a pain in the butt. I would consider myself a pretty strong guy, and you know, getting all 10 rounds into these magazines is a real pain in the butt. So I'm definitely going to be getting those speed loaders. These springs or whatever it is inside here make it super difficult to get all 10 rounds in. The sights actually are pretty good. The front sight it's a tritium front sight with a green circle around it that's very kind of high vis, and I do like the sights. They're not bad at all. The back just looks like 2 white tritium dots, which are not very distracting from the front post. You know, sometimes you have a 3-dot system where it's 3 big bright white dots, and they can kind of get mixed up and be a little bit confusing. But this is good. I do like these sights. Here you do have a small accessory rail where you could put a small light there if you want to. I may do. I'm going to look into that. And so yeah, that's kind of how I feel about the fit and feel, just in a nutshell. So as far as shootability and accuracy, the gun is decently accurate. I wouldn't say it's an accurate handgun, and I wouldn't say that it's not accurate. It's just kind of okay accuracy. For its form factor, I guess you could say it's pretty decent. Just as a reference, I was shooting 6-inch diameter circles at about 7 yards, and I was able to keep all 10 rounds in that 6-inch diameter. So definitely usable, decently accurate. As far as how it feels while shooting, it doesn't feel great shooting. I mean, it's not the worst thing. The grip just doesn't feel good. And the gun is not incredibly well balanced at all. I mean, the lower part of this gun is really, really light and plastic, and then the top is super heavy. So shootability, not great, I guess okay. And accuracy, I would say just kind of okay too. But what do you expect with a gun this small? For its dimensions, I guess it fares pretty well. Overall, just, you know, kind of okay in those categories. So price point for this gun, I think these new are about $5.99. Took my time and looked for a good price online, and I got this one for $3.50. I know SIG has released several different P365 variants, some larger ones, the XL, X Macro, which have a slightly bigger grip and can hold a higher capacity. The reason I went with this original P365 and not some of the newer variants is because of its form factor. And really the use of this pistol is to be as concealable as possible. But I decided that, you know, this one is better suited for what I need, which is just emergency, deep concealment if necessary. So the X Macro and the XL weren't really appealing to me. As far as pocket carry, I do think this may be one of your best options, you know, as far as a full package, just because of its size, just because of its capacity, and also because of its caliber. You know, there are guns that are this small, but they either are not in a 9mm caliber, they're in a 380 or some smaller caliber, or they don't hold 10 rounds. So, you know, take it for what it's worth. I know some people might not agree with me, and that's totally fine. It's just, that's my honest feeling about this gun. I think it will serve well as kind of a utility backup emergency pistol, or something I could potentially just keep in a sticky holster, locked up if I need to, if I forget my everyday carry, or, you know, whatever happens where I don't have that, I could have this set up and I could just throw this in my pocket, and it's better than nothing. Okay, so final thoughts on the SIG P365. Form factor, amazing. Slide and barrel, nice. Trigger, sucks. Grip, sucks. I like that there's a manual safety, and the sights are pretty damn good. So overall, you know, there's some things I like about it, there's some things I really don't like about it, but for me, I think it's gonna serve its purpose. This is the SIG Sauer P365.